Alright, so if you guys have been following the vlog for a while, you'll know that we've been working on a full set of bolt-ons for Devin's Hyundai Elantra N. You also probably know that no set of bolt-ons is complete without a tune, so today we're going to be finishing up the bolt-ons with Devin's intake, and we're going to be taking a look at some of what it's going to take to tune this thing. We have a cool little device that unlocks the ECU, so this will unlock the ECU, and then we can communicate with 6 Element on the tune, and then we have the intake all here from 6 Element as well, which we've been running on this car for at least the intercooler, intake, ECU. I think that's it, right? For 6 parts? Yeah. And then just to catch you guys up on the rest of the build, we do have a catch can here. We upgraded to the Sonata fuel pump in the back. Like I said, 6 Element intercooler under there. That was our last vlog. Link in the description down below. Blow-off valve down in there.
Solenoid.
A little tough to see.
Motor mount.
Yep, we got the solid bushings in the motor mount, and then just the intake here. That looks like we got a couple hose clamps here. Regular old air filter box. We'll get all that stuff out and get to work here. Come off this. Oh, easy. That's nothing.
Before we put the new one in, this is the inlet. That's fucking hot.
Yeah.
There's
this
3 bolts.
Inlet. We're replacing this as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, jeez.
I know this is going to be asked. 6 does have a V2 that I believe is even bigger than this. I bought this before I knew there was a V2. We're going to ship this anyways. Maybe we'll upgrade at a later date.
Hey, you ordered this stuff a long time ago, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just haven't had the time to put it in.
So the 3 bolts that mount to the turbo, is that right here?
Yeah. If I were to guess, there's a gasket in there that's probably going to be reused, and those bolts are probably going to be a bitch to get to. Probably going to be one back there.
That's tough. I got swivelly bits. We'll be all right. All right, guys. So we got a pretty crazy U-joint contraption here. Quarter-inch drive socket. We're going to give this a turn, and hopefully the bolt loosens up for us. Definitely tough to get the socket onto the bolt in here. There's a coolant line that's in the way. You can push that out of the way, but oh, there it goes. So that's cracked loose. That's the hardest one. I think the next one's gonna be this one in front here, but that should be a little bit easier. This is the contraption here. So this goes like this with the U-joint into that side of the inlet, and it kind of feeds out through the bay, and that's how we got it out. So it is tricky, but you don't need to remove that coolant line. Now that the bolt's loose here, guys, it's actually coming out by hand. A little reverse grip 360 no scope back here, and I'm just threading this out super easily and carefully, because dropping this down in the bay would be a huge pain in the cojones, which is Spanish for a word I can't say on YouTube. And there is the bolt, baby. Let's go. All right, then we get that front bottom bolt here, guys. The U-joint is actually on the front of the 2 extensions. This one's actually a little bit sketchier because the more of an angle that U-joint is at. Oh. The more of an angle that the U-joint's on, the less direct of a spin you get on the bolt. So again, we're just gonna take our time here. Oh, no, it's going. So I do like to remove these little guys by hand as much as I can, guys. Just kind of reduces the risk of dropping the bolts in there. Oh boy, there it is. And then number 3 here, guys, easiest for last up top here. Now we did see like an online tutorial saying to keep the, oh, we're getting rotation already. Saying to keep that last bolt in till last. That didn't make any sense. That back behind bolt, they said to take that out last with the inlet. I don't think I agree. I think it's probably less stressful to get that out with everything attached, so you don't have to worry about keeping the inlet itself in place. Now we are gonna watch out for the gasket here as well. So this one, the bolt will come out nice and easy. You don't have to double hand that, but then we're gonna keep a hand underneath for the gasket, just in case. I don't see a gasket. Oh, I do see a gasket, okay. Gonna wanna bend that. Keep it nice and attached to the inlet, and there it is. And there's your gasket too, so we're gonna reuse this. So Dev is reapplying the old gasket to the new inlet here. You guys will see it has the same size outbore, but the in is much bigger. Yeah, we got some new bolts there too to use on the new inlet, so we'll use those. Are those still 10 mils? Or are those Allens? Ah! Does it come with the Allen key? They're like, no, figure it out for yourself. Great. To the bucket of Allens we go. Actually, I think I have a set. Alright guys, so far we have that top bolt in there, and then we have the front bottom bolt as well. This was the contraption we used to feed that bolt in. We actually taped that Allen bolt from 6 Element to the Allen socket. Then we got our swivel bit, and then we got a bunch of extensions. I like the painter's tape trick on this. That way, once that Allen is threaded in a little bit, you just pull on the tape. You know, make sure you have a good bite on this part, and then you just pull away and release the tape, and now it's in there and threaded a good couple turns. So we're gonna tighten the top one down as well as the front bottom. Then we'll work on threading that back one in too. All right, boys, and then this back bolt, I was able to just hand turn it. Best bet, honestly, is just go around the back side of that coolant hose. And the reason why I like doing the top one and the front bottom first is that if you can get the gasket seated in those top 2 bolts, those first 2 bolts, you know that your gasket is seated for the third because you have 2 bolts holding the gasket in place. So now they're all tight-ish, but need one final torque down, and then we should be good to slap the intake in. So we got that top one, guys, all set with just an Allen wrench. This one, same contraption, small turns till it's nice and tight. Don't want to over torque or cross thread this at all. I was just saying to Dev, where we couldn't quite find a torque spec on these, I'd rather under torque them just because drilling this out and rethreading this would be an absolute nightmare. And so I think right about there is about as far as I'm going to want to go. Just hand tight, really. So it's not going to back off. We'll get that out of there. We'll work on the back. Is making a low profile Allen wrench stupid? Not if it works. Alright guys, so while I was making our custom Allen wrench here, because we're still getting some trouble with that clearing that coolant hose in the back, I guess basically what's happening, this thing's like super hot, but I'm trying to like feed this in behind that coolant hose and it was just too long, so I cut it down. I'm gonna let that cool down a little bit though so that we don't melt the top of the Allen bolt. Devin's been working on the actual intake. He's got his box mostly assembled here. He's got his new filter all bolted up here on the inside of his air filter box, which is sick. I like that they include the box. Most intakes just kind of have a cone filter chilling in the open.
Yep, it's got a, I think it was a 7 to tighten that hose clamp down, put the cover on, and put a couple mounting grommets, I don't know what they're called, to seat the box to sit on top of.
Okay, down in this one too. Just to change the position a little bit. So we're gonna try and use this modified Allen here. I did try to grind down the edges nice and smooth too so we don't strip out the bolt itself. But hopefully this is short enough now to clear that coolant hose and we can just tighten that last one down. I got a turn out of it. Now the other side of the wrench is too long. It's like hitting some shit. Can trim that down too, maybe. Alright guys, so our modified Allen, we actually cut down the long end a little bit too to clear the firewall. This is the hero. We got all 3 of these guys nice and tight. So this one we were able to use just a standard Allen key. This one was our big long wiggly wobbly happy socket set deal that we snuck in underneath, and then that back one was this Allen key here. So everything's hand tight plus a little bit more. Like I said, I'd rather under torque than over torque something like this because it's way easier to get back in there and retorque versus remove the turbo and completely rethread everything. So now we're ready to put the intake stuff back in, which should be hopefully way easier than the inlet itself, which does look pretty good in there. Yeah, so it looks like the Galactic Empire logo.
It does, which is part of the reason I went for it.
Alright, so if you guys are installing this at home, just be careful because 2 of these bolts are longer than the third. So you want the third to be the one that mounts in under your ECU mount here. And then the 2 longer ones go in that black plastic circle thing that I thought was a plate that was just some grommets made by Wallison grommets.
Wow, they put like a plexiglass lens on it now, huh?
It's pretty neat. It actually has an airbox. Usually you just have like an open cone there. On a track day, you might get more gains though out of taking this off. Because it would take more air, right?
Well, it's going to keep it cooler in there.
That's true, that's true.
So I think initially, yeah, but in the long run,
right, it would just be taking in hot air from the bay.
Yeah. But honestly, that's really what's going to get you the gains. This is going to be sound more than anything.
Alright guys, here we are, all set. Everything is in. Really cool gearbox. Can you tell we've been at this a few hours? Really cool airbox here. Super stoked on that. Everything worked out really well. Bolted right up. Six makes some pretty cool stuff here, man. The hose clamps all done. We got our lines all set as well. And our inlet back there, you know, hand tight plus a quarter turn. That's what we've been going with the whole day. No torque specs or anything like that. But we do have another thing that we want to take a look at here, which is the tuning. So we got this really cool module here. I guess you said SD card. It has an SD reader. You can get some software loaded onto it to unlock the ECU. And then once the ECU is unlocked, we're going to use this to send some info over to 6. And then they'll send a custom made tune. So it's not just like a pre-canned like K-Pro style tune. It's a little bit more of a dialed in specific tune for your car with your bolt-ons, which is really nice. But before that, should we get a little startup, little sound ski? Oh, you'll hear that when you step on it for sure. Damn, dude. That sounds sick. So obviously, guys, we got the blow-off down in there too, which is a lot of that noise, but it sounded pretty good with the intake as well. We'll definitely get a good one when you take off. Oh, Sadie heard. So this is the information that Dev got originally from the ECU, and he's punching that in and looking for a code which he can download, and that will allow him to unlock the ECU and talk to 6th.
This we want to copy into the maps folder, I think. is there. So we're gonna, this is the file we just downloaded. We're gonna ship it.
So we were getting a communication error on the ECU reader, so we're just double checking to make sure we have the right file here based off the calibration ID that we received first time around. So the number of underscores is what's getting us?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Alright. Double check your work.
I guess so.
Yeah. Damn. Alright.
Alright, well, I guess we're gonna have to call 6th Element.
Problem for another day.
Problem for another day, indeed. But the intake's installed. That sounds good. Later. Alright guys, so we are actually back out next day. We're gonna go see Dev. He just started back from 6th Element and apparently we had the car in the wrong accessory mode. So we're gonna go check that out and see what's up.
Round 2.
Give it a rip.
Try this again.
That's new.
That should fit the same rig.
Data logging. Mustang.
Honestly,
Mustang angry.
barely touched it, man. That guy was babying it, or
It was a Mustang on a turn. He has to baby it or he's gonna hit these poor kids.
that's what I was scared of more than anything. We were on the
On the bend, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were gonna
On
do
the
it. I pulled out the
outside.
camera just in case and you went for it.
as soon as I saw him start to slide, I let off the gas. So I was like, I didn't really pull that hard. I let off. I was like, fuck this, man.
Too good.
This guy's gonna take me out.
I'm actually so bad at vlogging. I miss all the cool stuff all the time. So the fact that I actually got something for once is actually pretty cool. Alright guys, so we got some pulls in. We didn't get all the information on the data log that it was recommending that we needed to have in the tuning software, so we are going to send what we have to 6th Element now, and hopefully they can tell us like, hey, you didn't have boost pressure because you did A, B, and C wrong, so we'll probably have to pull again, and then they should be able to get us a tune after that. So we'll definitely keep you guys updated on what happens next. We beat a Mustang. That was fun. It was a great time. Always a blast hanging with Dev and getting some stuff done. So if you guys made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching it. I appreciate you guys a ton. If you did enjoy the video or found it useful at all, feel free to leave a like down below. Subscribe for more just like it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.